Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome to the new year. So here on February 17th, I officially have started recording again. Not much to say other than I had some more ups and downs, but as time went on, I hope everybody had an actual good last year within November, December, and all that before I started working. Now I can officially say I do not work. I think I said it already, yeah. So what's the point of me repeating this stuff? I don't know. If you watch my older videos, you will know. But anyway, no internet. And even when I had it, I did not record. I got lazy and I got comfortable again, which is a bad habit because I want to try and break that this year and more to come. Before I start this, I actually went back in my file about last year, I think about 5 months or 3 months ago, and yes, I decreased it that way. All of this and my past recording were gone. I did not have a single file that showed that I was playing the game. So now I done caught up, looked at my old videos when the internet was on, and saw the choices that I made because I want to stay accurate, as if I actually played the games, and I did. And then after the camera went off, I did not save the progress after I made them. To go back and make new choices and see what was the difference. And to say, I still like my choices. I want to do wave and dinner. So we're all going to leave growing up at the very end. To us, to feel like it's a whole new chapter in life. So wave and dinner. The family shopping trip had lasted most of the morning, and you still had to unload everything from the trunk before you could go enjoy the afternoon. You cradle another bag in your arm as you headed towards your house. It was one of the heavier bags from the grocery store, loaded with fresh apples, ripe tomatoes, a bunch of carrots, and even half a watermelon. Mom came to the front door and paused just ahead of you. Need any help with that, Emma Teresa? I can bring it the rest of the way if you want me to. Option. Yes, please. It would be helpful. Yes, please. It was just too heavy. No, I've got it. You were doing fine. No, I've got it. You could just manage to hold it. You eagerly agreed with a nod of your head. You needed someone else to take it. You didn't say anything. You could finish the job yourself, no problem. Well, I'm right here. No, I've got it. You could just manage to hold it, because I've done this actually so many times. Even if it was heavy, you wanted to bring it yourself. Ma gave you an encouraging grin and rustled her fingers through your black hair. You set the next bag on the counter. Your older sister began to root around inside the content with a sigh. How much is left? Still a few more bags. With a huff and a puff, Elizabeth continued putting away the groceries, and you retreated out of the kitchen before you could become the target of her bad mood. Be careful! Careful, Emma Teresa. You hadn't been looking where you were going and bumped right into Mom, almost stepping on her toes to boot something. Sorry. I can give you a pass this time, but be sure to watch where you're going. Yeah, watch where you're going. If you run into the wrong people, you might get your license revoked. She grinned at the bad joke as you continued through the door. Yeesh. Work on the jokes, Mom. Not helping. Outside, Ma had started organizing what remained and putting back any loose objects that had fallen out during the trip. When you stepped up to the trunk beside her, she She took in a big breath of air, her dress gently swaying around in the breeze.
It's a shame.
It's a shame we had to spend the morning cooped up in that shopping center. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? You tilted your head to the sky, gazing at the clear blue expanse. Options. Yeah, it is. Days like today are my favorite. It's too hot. I wish it was rainy. I like it when it's stormy the best. I'm that last option where I'm just like, I like it when it's stormy the best. He go to sleep. You thought of the past winter, remembering the nip of cool air that could travel off the sea. It didn't snow in Sunset Bird, but being wrapped up in a bed, listening to the thunder and lightning gave you a certain sense of peace. It does, and I love it. I'm impressed you can enjoy something like that. It's a good way to think. You smiled at her, turned back to the trunk that helped with the last of the bags. Do I just click or... Okay, I can just click. Oh, hi, Cove. You noticed Mom waved over at Cove, who had just exited his front door, his surfboard propped up under one arm. Let me see, surfboard and wetsuit. Where might you be off to on this beautiful day? Oh, cool. He's wearing one. Cole flinched at being called to so suddenly. He hadn't realized there were people out here already, but he quickly recovered. Cole stayed on his side of the driveway, giving a small wave. After a moment or two of deliberation, he jogged over to properly say hello to you and your moms. Hello, honey. Hi, Cole. He adjusted the surfboard under his arm a little, getting a better grip on it. Hi. If you want to go to the beach, we could hang out there later. Option. Sure, I'll meet you there when we're done. Oh yeah, I could do that. Alright, I can't this time. That ain't me at the last option, just saying. Alright, it's something I say now because of vocabulary shortening. I'm not overly excited to go with him, like so quick, like a bunny or a puppy. Oh, yeah, I could do that. Cause the second one feels like, okay, I'm making a decision, or I'm just going with the flow, saying, alright. Yeah, I'm gonna say, alright, cool. I see you, Emma Teresa. Yeah. You watch as Cove headed off towards the beach, unable to hide your grin, knowing that you'd be joining him soon. Ha 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 ha. Once everything has finally been taken in and put away, you got yourself ready to meet Cove at the beach. Option. You had a surfboard in your room that you wanted to take with you. Did I? Did I have one this whole time? Sorry. I'm still trying to figure out the options. Your family had a surfboard around here somewhere. You weren't sure what you were going to do. He was surfing and you didn't know how. First of all, when did we have a surfboard? I didn't see none in any of the settings every time I look at the gameplay. So, and then I can't rely on the second one, because we got one around here somewhere knowing we have never surfed ever in our life. And the last one because it's true. Don't know how to surf. Don't know how. You said the same thing to your parents, and while Mom laughed a little, Mom gave you a smile.
Well,
You just have to go there and see what happens, basically. Cole must have been so excited to invite you there that he forgot you don't surf. Or he's hoping you'll go to watch him so he can show off. Yes, I used to do that. What? Okay. I know, hon. I experienced Emma Teresa's situation firsthand. I was stuck on the shore too. Yeah. You noticed what I was doing? Oh, yes. After the very first time, it's not a subtle move. How embarrassing. Huh. Yeah, your wife was very observant. I was still impressed. Thank you. Wow, Ma. Hey, what are you still doing here? Go on, have your fun. She is so determined. Look at that face. Yes! You're only young once, but don't do anything I wouldn't have. You, you. Are you sure? Okay. At your parents prodding, you hurry to leave the house and head down to the beach. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, when you arrived at the shore, you were greeted by the crash of waves and the soft calls of seashells. You took in a lungful of the ocean air and felt your brown hair warm in the sun. You noticed a small setup nearby the towel, some sunscreen, and a bottle of water. It must be Cole's. He spotted Cole himself nearby. He hadn't gone out to sea yet. He was just sitting in the sand at the water's edge, his board propped up beside him. You trottled up beside him. Hey, I'm here. I'm at Teresa. He looked up at you with a smile, and quickly hopped to his feet. No glasses. I was gonna go on my own soon. It kinda seemed like you weren't coming. Options. I wouldn't have missed it. Sorry you had to wait. And stay inside all day? I don't think so. Let's see. I'm gonna say sorry for the wait. Usually wouldn't say sorry because I would have said I wouldn't have missed it, but I'm not that cautious. You don't have to say that. It's okay. Then he cast his eyes out towards the waves. And that's the puppy. I'm cool with it. I can just edit her out or keep her in just like the rest of them. Options. What am I supposed to do while you surf? I'll stay here and watch you surf. I'm going to find something to do while you surf. Yeah, that sounds about right for the last one. You looked up and down the beach knowing there were plenty of things you could do to keep yourself occupied. Swimming, collecting shells, building sandcastles. I don't have to go out. I'll stay with you on shore. Or if you want, you could use one of my other boards. I could teach you. I owe you that much, right? I was the one who always promised to show you about surfing. Show you surfing? True. He offered that option to you, for pretty much as long as you've known him. You would touch, he remembered. Options. You would rather just watch Cole surf? No. You accepted the offer to hang out on the beach room. You wanted to try surfing. Yeah, let's get it. The last one. I'll do it. Let's surf. Cool. It was settled. Cole left the shore and then returned. I didn't say up. Cole left the shore, then returned with an extra board under his arm in no time at all. So did he just so happen to have a second board just in case? Just play it off like I only had one for now. He paddled out into the sea to where the good waves were. The water was cool against your skin.
It's nice.
Cool. Not too calm, but nothing crazy. It looked perfect today. He smiled at you and you couldn't help but smile back. You felt totally content. Until Cole kicked the water a little too hard and it inadvertently splashed you. Hey!
Sorry.
Did that hit you? Sorry, he does not care. He's playing. Alright. Alright. We better have a chance to flash him back. Otherwise, this is not going to be a good day for me. You could tell he really did feel bad that you had gotten caught in his crossfire. Really? Did he? Options, you flashed him back. You let it go. Nope, flash him back. You laughed but waited for an opening for revenge. The second he looked away, you kicked back, spraying him.
Seriously?
Is that any way to treat someone trying to help? I came out here to teach you. And I was just following your example. True. Cole tried to keep a straight face, but ended up looking away. The water you flicked at him landed in shiny droplets in his hair. And here's another lesson. He soaked you deliberately this time. He used his full leg and an impressive curtain of water hit you in the face. Alright. You lost your balance and scramble to keep hold of the board. You just managed to stay on, but it was close. Cole winced. Are you okay? I'm sorry. I'm fine, but we should do that real teaching. Yeah. I hope I read that right. Anyway, you chuckled awkwardly and shook some water out of his ear. With that, Cole started telling you all the tips and tricks of how to stay on the surfboard. He demonstrated both good and bad posture and explained where you needed to put your weight. Like this? You wiggled your body so that you were more in the center of your board. Cole nodded. Yep, just like that. The little lesson continued and option. Things clicked with you quickly. No, it did not. It had to go slowly. It had to go slowly, but you got it. You kind of struggled. It was disastrous. Had to go slow, but got it. That's the point of how I am. Cole did his best to guide you through the process, and by the end, you felt you had picked up the basics of surfing. Since you spent so much time working on balance in stable water, you wondered when you actually get to catch some waves. You brought it up to Cole and he nodded. If you think you're ready, go for it. You'll do great. Alright. With that, you graduated from Cole's class, and two of you were able to surf together more casually, even if he was still better at it. What an afternoon. Don't tell me how the first one ends. This feels so short. The setting sun was visible on the horizon. Every time you would look away, it had sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. You knew you should get out of the water before it was completely dark in the sea. You rode one last wave to get back to the beach. There you picked up your surfboard and gave it a quick once-over. Cole followed behind you to the shore. He put his board with his other things and grabbed his towel to start drying off. As he rustled his hair with a towel, you watched the sunset together. The colors were beautiful in the distance, and the shadows around you deepened. There was no need for words between the two of you, that's better anyway, as you both enjoyed the sight for a moment. Cole broke the silence. The waves were a good day, I think. Options. Yeah, totally. I guess. Perfect for surfing. Did you really think so? This one seems more. Let's talk more, because I don't do that, but I want to take. So I wonder if it's gonna sound bad or what if I say it. I don't want to make it sound like I'm doubting him, but I'm gonna choose it. He nodded mildly. He chatted a little more. Okay, that was good. Until the conversation truly died out, and all you heard was the rhythmic sound of waves. Then Cole sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. He scowled into the distance as if the sun exiting the sky was a personal offense. Wow, you're against the sun. Don't you think it should be longer? Option, yeah. It felt long enough to me. Only a shrug could express your feelings on the matter. Depending on what you're talking about taking it, sure, we'll say yeah. Cole stood up straight in defiance of the approaching darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I want to go somewhere. I don't know. Cole was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what the alternative was. Wetsuits were fine for the beach and not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to lug his surfboard around town either. Option. You'll be real cute in that wetsuit wherever you go. Well, I need to call it a night. Yeah, I want to do something too. We'll sure be welcome anywhere soaking wet like this. I'm remembering it's teenagers, and teenagers probably say this. I don't though, but I'm not the second one because of the day we got parents that trust us and there's not much going on. What could I possibly want to do because he wants to do something else? I feel like I'm following a leader. I'm the last one. We'll sure be welcome anywhere soaking wet like this. Cole finally took note of his current state and laughed. He shrugged. Then he looked down the shore with wide, shiny eyes. There's at least one place that's always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is, the park. You nodded. The park was virtually always empty. Even Elizabeth only went over there nowadays if she was looking for you. How times have changed. You used to be so protective over this place. In fact, the only person there was a chance of running into might be that Jeremy kid again. Man, don't keep bringing up that boy. Well, don't lift that boy over here. You brought the idea up to Cole. Oh, brought it up to Cole, and he cringed. But I'm still going. The sun is still there, a little. I'm staying out as long as it is. Option: you tagged along. You went home. Shoot, tag along. Okay, let's go. Cole took a minute to put his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all, though it didn't take much care to shake the sand off. You dealt with your own things. Option: you stuffed everything together quickly. You took your time to pack your bag. Take your time. The two of you finished at about the same time. As a total touch, Cole plucked his glasses off the beach and put them back on his face. He looked more like himself now. Yep. He led the way down the beach to the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you as long. Doesn't take you long at all. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared just yet when you made your arrival. Cole stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over it. On top of it. By now, the two of you were mostly dry. The summer breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cole idly went over to the monkey bar. He grabbed them, feet flat on the ground, and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown in the past few years. You could barely use the monkey bar yourself. There wasn't much space at all between you and the ground. That could either mean you were tall or I don't know. Just too tall, or the monkey bar was just too short. Who knows? When you got to the bar in the middle, Cole pulled himself up and threw. Let me revive that. When you got to a bar in the middle, Cole pulled himself up and threw. Then sat on top of the bar. His legs dangled off the side of the bar he perched on. Option. You joined him on the monkey bar. You stood nearby. You took a seat on the swing. On the swing, because that's where I was. You sat right down on a free seat and started swinging your feet. First slowly, but then you added more power to your kick. Air rushed past your face and ruffled your hair. You built up enough momentum to let it carry you. It was a lazy arc, not high or fast. Perfect for having a conversation. Guess what? What? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Of course he's not. Who would want him here? Right. It was true. But there wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. It looked like it was just going to be the two of you tonight. Cole hung his head and groaned dramatically. Your eyes widened when he whipped his head back up.
No way.
I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. Huh? You were taken aback and blinked for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. I'm about to say. Option. Ha ha. Don't scare me like that. One Jeremy is enough. That's not really nice. Funny, but not nice. You don't have to tease him. Ugh. Parents don't know anything. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody done this. And I remember giving this dude either the middle finger or cursing him out. So anyway, the last one. Cole chuckled back at you, amused. You looked around, the old part, the streets you knew like the back of your hand, and the beach. These were your stomping grounds. You wonder how Cole actually felt. How much was his joke just a joke? And how much was sincere dislike of this place? Moving hadn't been his choice. Option. Do you actually like this neighborhood? I know you don't think it's dumb. You let the silence stretch between you two. That's a good question. Do you actually like this neighborhood? Do you really have to ask that on the street? Yes. Cole kicked his legs carelessly as they dangled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty. That was his genuine opinion. Option. Yeah, I like it too. Well, at least one person likes it here. You nodded wordlessly. Well, of course. I'm here after all. You're the best thing in the neighborhood, Cole. Ooh, we're getting mushy, we're getting squishy over here. Alright, so which one would I choose? For her, not me. I don't like the second one because I can't tell where it's going with the thoughts. So like, does she not like it here at one point, or what? Making him feel good, say he's the best in the neighborhood. Don't know if that's what I want to do. And I'm not doing the middle because then that means the conversation ends. I don't know if this is coy, but let's just say, well, of course, I'm here after all. He shook his head with a rueful smile. Okay. I guess there was nothing else to it. It didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone and it was dark. You chatted a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. Option. We better get home. I wish days were longer. You chose not to say anything. He already brought about the second one. Like, he wished it didn't end as bad. Like, not bad. He wished it didn't end. Like, but like, yeah, bro. Like, time to go, because I think in one of the other episodes you didn't do things at night. A bit longer for the celebration. So I'm gonna choose the first one. But if it doesn't look like anything different, I guess I'll repeat it again and see if there's anything different, so we can all go through this together. Already? Yes. Where else are you trying to go in a swimsuit? He seemed to just notice how dark it was. It was hard to make out his exact expression with his face in shadow. I guess I lost track of time. Cole sighed. It was time to go home. He hopped down from the monkey bars with a thump when his feet hit the ground. I don't know why I had to put it in that. Gotta adjust my glasses. Adjusting my glasses. Turn them up. Alright. You stopped moving your legs and stood when the swing slowed down. The chains rattled and the swing smacked into you a bit. Its energy not entirely spent. Of course not. Cole grabbed his surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water bottle in hand, he was ready. You both began your trek up the road. It was a quiet night and you didn't run into anyone else. In what felt like no time at all, you had reached your destination, reached your street. As you walked, Cole smiled to himself. It was a soft expression, and you couldn't help but wonder what put it there. Everything okay? I just remember when we were younger. It used to be such a big deal to come home after dark. You couldn't indeed recall. You could indeed recall. If you got a Sandy, your parents would have something to say. Can we just say dirty? If you got wet, your parents would have more to say. If you come home after dark, well, your mom and his dad better have said it was okay beforehand. You used to need permission for everything. That small comment he made exposed just how much freedom you really had this summer. Felt like we had that, but I never took it because my parents always said stay in one place. In the end, it felt like control, but I didn't know it at the time. To them, it's protection, but the boy can do whatever. Things did not seem all so well, now did it? Now it seems different, but everything requires money. Wanna go here? Money. Wanna eat here? Money. You don't want none of the food at home. It's free. Now, after it was paid for. Let's see, what else now? Oh, by the way, I was adjusting to my bed. I'm not really sitting anymore. Oops. So that's what that button do. Ooh, no. I right click thinking that it was my other finger. Anyway. Cole looked up into the sky, a smile still on his face, as the two of you walked side by side, reminiscing. When you came into your house, you turned to each other. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Good. Bye. Option. Bye. It was nice seeing you. This was definitely an interesting experience. Yep. Thanks for the awesome day. I'm gonna say it was nice seeing you. So, nah, let's rewind. See if there's anything different about that. It was definitely an interesting experience. Oh, never mind. It didn't matter. Cole waved, and you both turned around to your respective houses. This was a pleasant end to the outing, you thought. I mean, it's already over, so... Okay. That was good. I'm not sure if there was any other thing we could go there. I think I was just thinking the entire time instead of just enjoying. Because at the end of the day, I like this story that you can just grow up and interact with Cole. Alright, on to the next one. Dinner. Sunlight shone through the windows as you sat in your living room. Your home phone pressed to your ear. Cole was on the other end. It's been shaping up to be an ordinary day like any other until Cole had called unexpectedly. He sounded unusually nervous greeting you. You listened silently as he kept talking, his words stilt. So I was just wondering, do you want to come over to my house for dinner tonight? Sure. I'm sorry, that's not an option, that's just something I wanted to say. The question came out strangely, almost like he rehearsed it a few times beforehand. Your eyes widened a little. You hadn't expected this to be the reason behind the call. No, I said yes already, so I'm gonna read the options anyway, but you know my answer. Yeah, I'll go. I can't. You kept listening. Yeah, I'll go. It was... Huh? Oh, okay. Oh, could I have let him finish talking? Let's do that. Kept listening. Cole continued. His next words sounded rehearsed, too, and teemed with nervousness. My moms and dad, they really want you to be there. If your parents don't have a problem with it, they asked me to ask you. You took a moment to think. Dinner at home would be quiet and uneventful today. If you really wanted to, you could go to Cole instead. Cole spoke up again, breaking your thought train. His voice was softer than before. Also, I want you to be there too. Can you come over? I mean, cool. More answers. Stick to the listening sometimes. Probably got more to say. I guess I sound eager. Go back to listening sometime now. Options. Yeah, I can come. I had to ask my mom to get back to you. No, I can't make it. Why am I the only one invited? Or did you mean the whole family? Nah, definitely talking about you being with his family. Because it was already reversed when his dad asked your mom, to watch Cole for a bit. So let's just say this is a friendly return. And say yes. Thanks, Miss Risa. I'll let them know when I can. He sounded noticeably relieved by your response. Was you coming over for a dinner today? That serious? Was it that serious, I guess? He spoke to you for a little while longer to explain what time to come over and other details, then hung up. And that was that. For now, anyway. Soon enough, the sun dipped out of the sky and evening came. It was time for you to head to Cole's house. After letting Elizabeth know you were leaving, she didn't look away from the TV, but just grunted. You made the small journey across the street. Now I'm going to revise that. After letting Elizabeth know you were leaving, she didn't look away from the TV. Just grunted. You made the small journey across the street. What the frick? Anyway, you knocked a couple times on the heavy door to their condo. As you waited for an answer, you found yourself contemplating being a guest while both of co-parents were there. Option: it was exciting. You were apprehensive. The idea made you curious. You didn't think it would be especially interesting. You couldn't say you were thrilled. I would say you're curious. I don't know about apprehensive, but I am curious. You wonder why they decided to invite you out of the blue. Maybe you find out later tonight. You didn't get too much time with your thoughts though. The door opened soon enough. Cole's mom, Kira, stood in the frame, smiling warmly at you.
Come on.
Green. Hey, Emma Teresa, welcome. Please, come on in. She opened the door wider and moved to make room. You stepped inside, allowing her to shut it behind you. Thanks so much for coming over. I know it's kind of last second. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Just make yourself at home. It's not my home, but I've been given permission to say that. Hey, Emma Teresa, welcome to our humble abode. You jerked your head towards the sound of Mr. Holden's voice. He waved at you briefly from the kitchen with his back turned and a large spoon in hand. Hope you're hungry because I'm whipping up a lot of tasty stuff. True to his word, you heard something sizzling on the stove. You closed your eyes and inhaled. It smelled spicy and savory. Sound like my type of dish. With Mr. Holden busy and Cole nowhere to be seen, it was just you and Kira. She gave you a weary smile, something like that. He sure is. While I've been barred from cooking the entire time, I'm staying here. Can you believe that? What? Is your cooking extremely good or is it bad? I am not sure at this point what to really ask. She nudged you with an elbow. Mr. Holden scuffed good He scuffed good-naturedly, then spoke from over his shoulder. You're on vacation, Kira. You need to accept that already. She yelled back, amusement obvious on her face and in her tone. People still cook when they're on vacation. Everyone's gotta eat. It's not like I'm some celebrity. You can go out for every meal or hire a private chef.
Sorry.
Well, in this house, you're a VIP. Kira smiled and shook her head quietly, I guess. Then she turned to face you once more. Sorry about that, Emma Teresa. Here I was, trying to strike up a conversation with you, and Cliff just had to butt in. I don't butt in. She eyed him, chuckled in disbelief. He hadn't accepted disproving her point with this. Anyway, Kira leaned over to whisper to you. It's okay. He likes to be included. But since Cliff insisted on cooking all by himself, he'll have to wait. The two of us can chat. Her next question continued to be said in a hushed tone just to be safe. So, how are you doing? Option: I'm doing good. Oh, I'm good. Things are okay. I'm not really sure. You didn't reply to her question. I think we're doing good. We're doing good, but we're not overly excitedly doing good. But we're good. I think we say things are okay too many times knowing that's a lie. But in her case, it's true. Like, we're good. To her credit, Kira wasn't too fazed by your lackluster response, whatever it is. Let's see if we can turn that okay to great by tonight, huh? She opened her mouth to say something more, but soon lightly pounding footsteps caught your attention. You checked to see Cove emerge from the hall a few moments later. He might have heard all the commotion and left his room to see what was going on. He quickly took stock of the situation. I guess gulping. I'm intrigued. Hey, thanks for being here. There was nothing unusual about the words in his greeting, but you could tell something was wrong from the way he looked, like he wanted to be anywhere but here. Hi, Cole. You doing okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Liar. He didn't sound convincing at all. You narrowed your eyes and suspiciously, but didn't call him out on it. If you could talk to him alone tonight, maybe you could ask him what was going on then. It was when you glanced away from Cole that you spotted his parents watching the two of you interact. Cole noticed their stares too, meeting them with narrowed eyes. Okay, so are they asking him to move out with his mom or something, or what? Because boy is not comfortable with neither one of them in the room. Are we having dinner now? Nah, not yet, but I'm still cooking. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my room. As he turned to leave, he bent his head to the side to face you. You coming? Alright. The question was quiet, but you heard it clearly. You smiled, pleased that he asked, and nodded in the affirmative. Cole turned fully and made his way down the hall. Have fun, you two. We'll call you when food is ready to go. With that, you followed after Cole. The two of you made your way down the hall. Option. It was the first time you were invited to see Cole's room. You're right. You had visited Cole's room before, but only rarely. I don't know about that. Going over to Cole's room was a standard occurrence for you nowadays. No, it'd be the first time to be invited, because I don't remember his boy room at all. Cole got to the door first, opening it and stepped inside. You joined him. Feels like an adult's room, but okay. There was a mat on the floor in front of the door. As you stepped over the threshold into his room, you felt the crunch of sand beneath your feet. Dang. You glanced down. Sand was clustered around the entrance. You even spotted smaller amounts of dust of it dusting the rest of the room's floor. Though you hadn't anticipated it, you weren't surprised at the sight. Of course, Beach Boy Cole Holden would get his room all sandy. So this is my room. Welcome to my crib. Anyway, Cole was a bit shy as he said so, fidgeting with the hem of his shirt, using one hand and vaguely gesturing to the space with the other. There's stuff you can sit on if you want. You looked over at the desk chair as an option. When you turned back, Cole was already sitting on the edge of his large bed. That's a large, like a queen. Option. Are you trying to make your own beach with all the sand? It's nice. Thanks for letting me come over. You weren't sure what to do. Thanks for inviting me, basically. I should be the one thanking you. You furrowed your brows at his shifty reaction to everything, but you could tell he wasn't in the mood to talk about it right now. Option. You didn't sit anywhere. You sat down on the chair, in the chair. You sat next to Cole on his bed. Chair. There was a desk chair in the room for a reason after all. You walked over and rolled it out. Taking a seat on it, it was stiff against your butt and creaked each time you shifted. You definitely used his bed space more often than this. Oh, he definitely used his bed space more often than this. And there's probably a reason. Why do you look like you shocked though? Do you want me to sit her next to you? Just saying. Well, too late to complain now. You just have to do it. Yep. You don't look happy with that though. With a silence growing, With a silence growing, your gaze began to drift. You stared at the bright fish swimming in the tank. Tell me about these guys, or all of them. I guess it's still not a dictionary to say fishy, since we can't say mouse without saying mice. This is a lot. So fishy. We're gonna break that today. Fishy. There were a bunch of them floating to and from or fro in the open space. They stood out starkly against the green aquarium plants. How long have you had those fish?
Yes.
My dad bought them for me not very long after I moved here. I guess it's been years now. Wow, that's very long. That's long. You peered carefully into the tank. The fish looked to be doing well. I guess he must take good care of them. Most of them were small, but there was one especially big one. An exceptionally big one in my opinion. What are their names? I don't name them. Well, not really. You lifted an eyebrow at that. He continued the explanation. The explanation sheepishly. Okay.
I mean,
Mostly, I just call them things based on what they look like. Squirt for a small one, tangerine for a really orange one, that sort of thing. I had a lot of fish, and I'm not that good at coming up with names. Option: you found that funny. You found that surprising. You found that relatable. True. Relatable. You didn't have any pets, but you always had trouble naming your stuffed animals or whatever else. It was such a hard choice. Oh, a couple of them have other types of names. He pointed to a small orangish redfish. We called him Courage. It was minding its own business away from the others. My dad named her Dreamcatcher, and that other one Smart. Mom came up with the other one. Cole smiled to himself, his eyes reflecting the glow from the tank. You let other people name your fish?
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. He then turned to you, tilting his head to the side. There was a considering look on his face. Do you want to name one? Option. Yeah, I do. Can I? No thanks. Can I? His smile grew a little at your interest. Sure. There's a few who don't have names right now. The newer ones you can pick which you want to name. He pointed each of the recent acquisitions out to you. The first was the small fish in the tank. It was completely orange and zipped all over. Cool. The place, running laps around the others. The second was slightly bigger and red. It was a tail. Its tail was dotted with black spots, which almost resembled freckles. The last fish was the bigger one. Its multicolored scales rippled under the bright light of the tank as it slowly made its way across the vast expanse. I went with options: the smallest fish, the medium fish, the biggest fish. This one seemed interesting. I don't remember what the medium fish was. I remember the small one is fast and the big one has like prickles. How nobody named the big one yet? Interesting. I want the big one. Cole only nodded at your answer, waiting on you to decide on a subtle name. Can I type it in? You watched the fish. You chose closely. As you did, a name eventually came up to you. What the heck is this? Oh, I can type it. First of all, when I type it, will they let me? I think I did last time. Options: Frank, ill. Sunbeam, no. Jill, no. Emma Teresa, nah, that sounds a little something. Indulgent. Cole, no. Type one in. Oh, cool. Alright. What would I name the big one? Shan. Yeah. I like the name. Shan. That's gonna be it. Alright. It's Shan. I probably got that wrong. Sorry for any Chinese viewers, Mandarin viewers, but that's literally what I thought about. With that, his attention moved from you to the tank. He peered fondly at it and its inhabitants. You smiled proudly at Shan as it swam through the tendrils of the plant, disappearing, then reappearing soon after. You know, I'm not allowed to have pets in my house, not even fish. The corner of the cold lip turned down at that. Shoot, I'd be upset too. I literally have dogs. Tell me I can't have them? Literally like saying animals wasn't meant for humans, but that's what God gave Adam before he said he was lonely. That doesn't sound fair. I know, but some parents have good reasons. It's not like fish would make a mess of your house or anything. You just gotta take care of their tank and feed them, and they'll be okay. Options. Right. My mom can be strict over the weirdest things, whatever, or things sometimes. I don't mind it too much. I get it. Not having animals around and then having them around, don't mind too much. I had a good mixture. You have to do so much for a pet. It's a lot of work and responsibility. My mom take it super seriously, and that's why they don't want to just get one. That's true. Your current conversation brought to mind a memory from years ago. You launched into it without any warning, earning you a brief, confused look from Cole. One time Lizzie Elizabeth came back from playing at the beach and just shut herself in her room. She only came down for food and then she ran back up the stairs straight after. It was kind of weird. My mom didn't think much of it at first though. I'd be confused too. But then that night, Mom went to her room to say goodnight and started screaming. Mom and I ran over to see what happened. Lizzie had this huge lizard in her arm. Cole's eyebrows rose at that, and he leaned forward in interest. A lizard? Where'd that come from? Elizabeth said she saw it half buried in the sand and didn't know what it was. Then she pulled it out and got the answers. So she brought it home. She hid the lizard in her room for most of the day because she wanted to keep it. Mom and Ma was not happy. They worried about putting it out during night, but she was going to have to let it go in the morning. Lizzie was really upset. She did bring it back to the beach eventually, but she wouldn't talk to anyone for days. When she did get over it, it was almost like it never happened. You laugh thinking back to that time. Elizabeth had always been stubborn, but when she was younger, she forgot grudges quickly. Now it's too easy. Now it wasn't so easy. Cole had been quiet for most of the story. Apart from the reveal of the lizard, he had a thoughtful look on his face. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to have a sibling. You gave serious Can't imagine. Okay, you gave a serious thought to his statement before you told him. Options. It's fun. There are ups and downs. It's true. I said options? Okay. Options. It was fun. There are ups and downs. You're lucky to be an only child. It's a nice idea in general, but my sister is Elizabeth. I don't know how to explain what it's like. Yeah, because nowadays you just grow up with them. It's like, and there were up and down. There's a lot of them. And to say, but my sister is Elizabeth, but can't even give a general idea. So, and I don't want to say that because some people really do need that feeling of having a sibling. If the situation is in a better light. I can't say that for everybody, but some people really are lucky to be the only child, given the history or how things were going on around them as a child. And someone you would think they have better parents too, but sometimes that's not even the big picture anymore. I can't say it's fun because ups and downs, because you got to discover each other as adults at some point, and then you just realize you can't live like your kids anymore. You could, but then that would be scratching off that could you really survive being an adult. So let's just say there are ups and downs because that's always the perks of having siblings. We're growing up together and we're all going to experience personalities that everybody's not going to expect or experience if they were to be the only child. It's fun to have her there when she wanted to be there, but now Elizabeth barely feels like hanging out with me. Cole pursed his lips at the word, considering considering them quietly for a while. That's interesting. I think your family is cool. Thanks. He didn't have much else to say, so while on the topic of your family, you consider your relationship with your moms too. Options. They were obviously the best. You get along with your moms. You thought your moms were okay. You found your moms to be difficult to deal with. No. The thing is, you can get along, but are you really living happily with your parents? You can say they're the best until one day you just feel like they just betrayed your whole ideal of what parents should be. Well, I'm gonna say they were okay. They could be harsh sometimes, and they tease you about things, but they were far from the worst parents out there. True, you knew they cared about you. Although struck you and your attention suddenly settled back on Cole. All your attention. Yeah, my mom might not let Elizabeth or me have pets and stuff, but at least they never tried to pay someone to be my friend. I remember that. You grinned over at Cole. It had been years since he found out about your first meeting with his dad. It was easy to joke about these days. Cole rolled his eyes so hard you were surprised they didn't get stuck that way. I almost forgot about that. Tick now. Really?
No way.
No, not really. I'll never be able to forget that actually happened for the rest of my life. It's gonna humiliate me forever. Awesome. I'm really sorry about what happened, Cole. Then I'm sorry, since I'm gonna bring it up forever. Yeah, I get why that'd be embarrassing. You laugh. You stay quiet. I mean, he considered it embarrassing. Some people may not like it to laugh. And you can understand why it can be embarrassing. But don't let it drag on. But if I don't like the results, I'm gonna rewind. Then I'm sorry, since I'm gonna be bringing it up forever. No, because no, that's not me. I'll hang this over nobody's head unless they perfectly deserve it. Don't want to be sound so apologetic because it's not gonna sound like he can just get over it. Just keep saying sorry and reminding him that it's a sad day when it shouldn't. I get why it'd be embarrassing. Embarrassing barely covers it. At least only you, me, and Dad know about what happened. Can you imagine if Elizabeth ever found out? Yep. You and Cole shuddered in unison at the very thought. Time passed, but you didn't really notice. The two of you were busy making plans for the rest of the summer and chatting about the respective days. I think that was okay. But I just said, it's not that I don't like it. I want to see. I don't easily laugh at stuff, not even to what he just went through, but let's just see. Cole shook his head at your reaction, but he didn't say anything more on that topic. It was obvious he'd rather talk about something else. Okay, I don't like that mood.
No way.
Let's try this one. Cole took one look at your remorseful face and waved you apologetically off with a hand. It's okay. It's not, but I'm not sad about it anymore. Just really embarrassed. Okay, I like my answer better.
No way.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Eventually, you heard a muffled holler from a different part of the house. You and Cole raised your heads in unison. It's time for dinner. Cole watched the firmly shut door he'd been locked behind for most of the night, but he didn't make a move to get up from the bed. You couldn't see his face, so you didn't know what expression he was wearing. I'm glad you came. Yeah, whatever your parents about to talk about must be embarrassing. Cole peeked back at you from the side. It's been awkward. I get that. It's been hard on you, huh? You felt sympathetic towards him. You didn't know what he was going through, but you cared about him. Yeah, true. Cole said nothing else and remained sitting where he was. Remained sat where he was. It didn't sound right to me. Now would be a good time for Annie. English be live. Now would be as good a time as any to ask him why his parents so suddenly wanted you to come over. Option. Is there a reason why they wanted me to come over tonight? You kept quiet. Yeah. It hasn't been awkward for just me Sometimes it get like this when no one else is around, but now you're here. Huh, you hadn't considered that, but it sort of made sense in a way. There was another shout from outside, too muffled to actually know the words, but you could imagine what they were. Actually, that's a good door and some good walls, because I wish I had that growing up. Let's go. Cole finally got up, lumbering away with his shoulders sagged. You followed after him. Together, the two of you made your way back to the living room. As you expected, co-parents were politely waiting for you at the kitchen table beside the windows overlooking the back of the house. Food has been prepared and set. Mr. Halden beamed as you and Cole took your seats. I hope everyone's hungry. I cooked up a feast. Cool. I know I am. Yeah. Cole's mumbled response wasn't nearly as upbeat as theirs. His parents didn't notice, or they pretend not to. I say pretend not to. They both look hella young. Mr. Halden instead looked at you.
Thanks.
Let's all just take a moment to thank our special guest for being with us here tonight. I'm so glad you were able to make it, Emma Teresa, and on such short notice too. Option. You thank Cole's parents back for inviting you. You didn't say anything to that. You just felt awkward about the situation. Now I say thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you both for inviting me. Well, that's it. Everyone, please dig in. You can help yourself to the food. So we don't pray in this house. I'll do it for you. And it's not even just me being true. Thank you for the Lord for this food. Pray that He would nourish us throughout our body and give us the strength to do what we need to do and take away the strength when we sleep. In Jesus' name, amen. And that's the prayer for the night. And great. Upon his encouragement, you looked over the meal spread out in front of you. There was a large garden salad in the center, surrounded by a variety of Mexican dishes. There were a lot of sides and optional sauces to add. So it's Mexican night. You were very hungry about these options. You could work with it. Yeah, I can work with it. You weren't exactly a fan. This kind of just surprised you. Yeah, we could work with this. You didn't mind Mexican food. Mom loved it, so you ate it as a family often. In a way, it made your first dinner at the Halton house feel a bit more normal. Utilities in place scraped and cleaned together as the group began filling their plates. Cliff, could you pass the salsa verde? Of course. Thank you. Let me just say you really outdid yourself tonight. I'm so jealous. Jealous? Of what? Your cooking's not to sneeze at, Kira. Your cooking's nothing to sneeze at, Kira. Cole's parents made small talk, filling the silence with what seemed to be barely any effort. You chimed in as well. Did it take you a long time to cook all this, Mr. Halden? Oh, not at all. Sure, this is more than I usually make for me and Cole, but I enjoy every second of it. Might have gone faster if you had some help though. Cole's mom grumbled, but it was lighthearted. Mr. Halden chuckled and shook his head. Not this again. I made the rules here, and I say guests don't cook. Even when they're staying for literal weeks.
Come on.
Even then, brief silence and intersperse the small talk. Can we say disperse the small talk? You piled some food on your plate, waiting for your turn if someone was serving themselves a dish that you had your eye on. Once the food had been divided and things settled down, Cole's parents started talking again. Now then, You sat up in your seat when you noticed they were both looking at you.
How's it going?
How has everything been over at your house? Are your moms well? You've been keeping busy this summer. Oh, you've been keeping busy this summer? Or maybe you just trying to take it easy during the break. Options. You felt overwhelmed by the sudden rush of questions. Nope. You were more than happy to answer. You were surprised, but you didn't mind the interest. You felt uncomfortable with this attention. Attention is definitely one of them. Especially growing up, that is not what I wanted. Now as I get older, it's fine. It's whatever. You hadn't expected so many questions and all at once. Still, what else was there to talk about from how the summer was going? I'm sorry, I'm stuttering so much. Options. You answered how things were at your house. You told them how your moms were doing. You mentioned things you've done this summer. Instead, the moms are doing great. Another option. My moms are great. Moms are fine. They're the same as always. You should ask my parents about it yourself. Moms are fine. Bland and straight to the point. Just kind of busy with work and stuff. That's nice. The doing fine part, not the busy with work part, obviously. Options again. You answered how things were at home, at the house. You mentioned things you did done in the summer, and that was that for your question answering. So I'm gonna finish the other two because hey, it's there. You answered how things were at home. Options. It's been good. It's been good. Okay, redo this because I saw two of them together and it kind of threw me off. Options. It's been good. It's been good. If what you said but you didn't mean it, it's alright. It's not that great. I'd rather not talk about it. I wouldn't say it's not that great because that's what all of us don't say. Because we're always expected to say it's alright. But when some people can tell that it's not, it's like, yeah, you were told that whoever goes in this house stays in this house. And sadly, that's just a society rule, an unwritten rule too. That's how things happen and people didn't know because we always said, it's alright. But I can say just for now, everything's been alright. And I actually do mean it. It's just boring on my end now. And I do mean in real life, like, it's slow, it has its ups and downs, and it's boring, but then it just, finally I have energy to do this. So, it's true. So it's not too bad. Option. You mentioned things you've done this summer, and it's all for the question. So I'm answering the last question for summer. I'm not sure where to start. There's so much that happened. You should know what I've been up to since so much has included your family. Dang, that sounds kind of rude for the second one. I haven't really done much. And not done much sounds like, no, I'm not interested in telling you what I did so you can snitch and tell my mom. Kind of things like that. So I'm just gonna say I'm not sure where to start. Mr. Halden's brow raised when you answered with that. You sure are keeping yourself busy. I could learn a thing or two from you. Sure. And that's it for the questions. Peter nodded along. You could tell she was actually listening to the words you were saying. She was trying to include you, not humor you. Did you know, Cliff? Teresa is really into music? Okay, she got a good memory. Mr. Halden's face lit up and he stopped eating so he could lean forward. His arms braced against the table.
Nice work.
Oh, that's right. Very cool. Options. It's just a hobby. I'm pretty serious about it. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's a hobby. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good to do things It's good to do things just for fun. Everyone needs a hobby. I've been thinking of picking up wood carving myself. You couldn't tell how serious he was being about that declaration. Thanks. Cole's parents were definitely the encouraging type, but you could already tell that much about them. There was a lull in conversation as everyone focused their attention on their respective plates, whatever that lull means. You noted not for the first time that Cole's parents were the ones guiding the conversation. You wonder if you should break the silence this time. Why not? But we're gonna still include the option. You brought up your own topic of conversation. You left coming up with a conversation topic to them. And I remember talking a lot, and then one dude really thought I was coming on to him because I wanted to be more talkative. Just to say thank you for one thing, and it's not what you're saying. But basically, dude thought I was like interested in him. Like, no, I wasn't. I used to try to make it seem like, go hard in the conversation just to see where it goes. Like, it's not going any further than what you think, dude. I also like other things. Would you like to tell us more? Yeah, obviously. They looked genuinely eager for you to keep talking, so you did. The rest of the dinner continued just like that, with light conversations as you ate your meals. Eventually, all the dishes on the kitchen table were pretty much gone. Kira set down her fork and rested her arms at her side, letting loose a satisfied sigh. Her plate was completely empty. That was delish, save for your culinary creation, Cliff. Mr. Holden was like a flower soaking in the rays of sun. He beamed, flattered by the praise. Option: you ate away too much. Nope. You ate until you were satisfied. Yep. You tried not to eat too much, even though it was good. Ate until I was satisfied. So you gonna invite me? That's what I'm doing. Sometime. It had taken you some time to finish it all, but you eventually.
Thanks.
Okay, I kinda got pretty happy with that. Eventually, you cleared your plate. Cole successfully kept his presence to a minimum for a full meal. He was slumped over, even now, toying with his silverware. His parents practically only talked to you, most attention to entice him to join the conversation failed. Of course, dude's not trying to have a conversation with his parents while his friend is here. Then again, Cole didn't tend to talk a lot unless he was until he happened to be in the mood for it. So you weren't surprised things ended up this way. You didn't get much time to contemplate Cole's situation because your attention was taken by Mr. Holden pointedly clearing his voice. Not to sound like a broken record, but thanks for coming, Emma Teresa. I'm glad you finally got the chance to have. I feel like I'm rushing every time. I'm glad we finally got the chance to have you over for a real dinner. What? Did I hear that right? This is the first time Emma Teresa has even had dinner here. Yes, first time. Why in the world haven't you invited her over sooner? Cole was always the one going over to Emma Teresa's house until now. I mean, how was I supposed to reject the generous offer of the Rama? Yes, that's the name of the family. Rama family to host my kids. Kira shook her head, but the amused smile she was sporting told you that she wasn't actually mad. Cool. This guy, honestly. The three of you looked at Cole in unison, his small sound being more than enough to get the focus on him after his silence. But now he stopped fiddling with his board. Would it be alright for Amaterasu to stay over, like, for tonight? Please go back! First of all, his parents didn't even know that he slept at my house, her house. And yes, I think I'm getting into the point where I say, yeah, me, mine. Slept at my house. Mom didn't know, he just showed up. So this is the first time out of ever. He shot you a shy glance, then smiled a little. If you're cool with that. Yeah, because I ain't get no invitation to do that. I just got dinner. Mr. Holden's shoulders stiffened. He sat up straighter, eyes darting back and forth between you and Cole. His mouth open, but not a peep came out. You'd never seen Cole's dad say no to him before, but this was different than the usual request. It wasn't so simple, and Mr. Holden was lost. Then Cole's mom reached out and took a hold of his shirt collar. She pulled him closer. She glanced at you before leaning in and bringing a hand up in front of their faces. The two adults whispered seriously to each other. Cole's eyes opened wider. He leaned forward, as if that would help him to overhear his parents' conversation. Mr. Holden kept gesturing with his hands while Kira made sure he didn't get too far away with all his movements. I'm starting to think this is the first time Cole ever asked to keep a girl or someone over, considering he didn't have that many friends. And the only friend he has is Amaterasu, aka me. So, honestly, this is something. I wonder if some parents actually been through this with their kids and it actually turned into a good thing. And I do mean a good thing. Okay. Every now and then, both of them would watch you and Cole out of the corner of their eye. It didn't seem like they were fighting to you. They looked more like some kind of tiny sports team having a private huddle. After a bit, they broke the group up. They moved back to sit properly in their chairs. Oh, I didn't even blink that they got up. She snuck a look at Cole. He stared at them expectingly. You were eager to hear their verdict too. And the verdict is, yes. We, Kira and I, think that should be fine, but he lifted a finger dramatically, his brows raised as he met Cole's gaze and then your own. We'll have to talk with Amateur's parents to make sure they'd be comfortable with it. If they are, we can arrange for a sleepover to happen at a different night, true, when everyone is more prepared. If Amateur's folks don't like the idea, there's nothing we can do. Now that sounds like some adults talking. That sounds like an adult talking. He finished the mini speech with a wide shrug, using his full arm. He also checked out Kitty from the corner of his eyes and gave her a crooked smile. Okay, sound like adults. Pretty cool. Probably shocked Cole because I want her tonight. Like, no, they taking adult steps. Like, they have no idea what your intentions were when you asked that. She nodded approvingly and grinned back. You thought you saw her give him a thumbs up, but her hand was partially blocked by the table. They looked so pleased with themselves over the answer, but they just passed the actual decision on whether I don't know why I have a difficult time reading this. Decision on whether it was alright or not to someone else, namely your parents. If there was a sports game, they would have punted the ball away. Cole hung his head, deflated. he had been hoping you could stay over today, not some hypothetical time in the future. I mean, you should have thought it through, just saying. Options. You gave him some words of encouragement. You patted him on the back. I'll sneak the phone into my room tonight. Nah. Hey, you could always sneak into my room again. Nope. You pouted about it. Let's see. So they'll know if he snuck out. Like, let's be honest. So you can't encourage that. And then they're sitting right there. There's no way they can't hear. Words of encouragement. Cheer up, Cole. I'm still here right now, aren't I? And things worked out somehow. Though he still appeared upset, the corners of his lips lifted a little on appreciation of your comfort. With that, dinner finally came to an end. Mr. Holden stood up from the table and began collecting empty plates. Cole was asked to help out, which he did with little fuss. Kitty tried to lend a hand as well, however, Mr. Holden didn't let her. It seemed she was banned from cleaning as well as cooking. You weren't allowed to chip in either, since you were there as the declared guest of honor. Although the meal was over, the night wasn't. It looked like you weren't going home just yet after all. You were asked to wait on the couch. While Cole and his dad were cleaning the mess up, Kitty disappeared down the hall after shooting you a wink. It was a bit strange, sitting by yourself while everyone else had something to do. Luckily, you weren't alone for too long. After a couple minutes, Cole's mom returned with a deck of cards in hand. She strolled into the room confidently while shuffling. The Cupid Shuffle? So, who's up for a few rounds? I don't know how to play. Cole and his dad looked over their shoulders at the question. They were mutually intrigued by the cards in her hand. She beamed at their expressions and stepped further into the living room. Ignoring the couches, she sat cross-legged on the floor by the coffee table. She turned to you and gestured at the space beside her, smiling invitingly. You accepted and followed her lead. The living room carpet was soft, although the hardwood floor beneath could definitely still be felt. Yeah, I don't like that. Kira did, and can I say Kira? I feel like I want to say Kyrie so bad from Devil May Cry. Kira did an overhand shuffle while she waited for the others to finish their task. The smile had yet to leave her lips. This is going to be good. What are you about to do? Options. You were excited, you were nervous, you were bored, you were kind of annoyed. You enjoyed her enthusiasm. I enjoyed her enthusiasm because I really don't have any feelings towards what she want to do. Cole's mom was funny, upbeat, and easygoing. You leaned closer to watch her expertly shuffle the cards. It didn't take much longer for Cole and his dad to wrap things up and to call it good. Cole's dad appeared first, followed closely behind by Cole. Mr. Holden rubbed his hands together and anticipation. Alright, I'm ready. As he took his seat across from you on the floor, he noticed that Cole hadn't joined him. He went straight down the hall instead without even a word. He stared on confused as he disappeared through his bedroom door. Cole's parents then looked concerned at the stunt. Kitty nonchalantly split the deck of cards into two and rippled the hall together while offering an explanation of sorts. Cole doesn't keep his wallet with him when he's at home. He puts it away. Oh. Gamble. What? Cole quickly returned to the living room. A blank wallet in a black wallet in his hand. He took a place at the foot of the table with the rest of you. You blinked as Cole unzipped his wallet. You all use real money on card games with family? Why, oh, so she said he doesn't play without his wallet. I thought he put his wallet away and come back without the wallet. So they really do gamble with real money. While you sat there, your hands idled in your lap, the three shot eyes at you another and sized each other up.
Yeah.
So y'all that type of family. Okay. That's right. $5 per round per person. Winner takes all. Go big or go home. Oh. Are you planning on kicking Amateurista to the curb? Or do you intend on donating to the guest of honor spot? Mr. Halden Roller. Okay. Mr. Halden narrowed his eyes and leaned back against the side of the couch, completely at ease. If Amateurista wants to play, I'll fund her way in. Don't worry about that. Just got done eating, and I feel a little sleepy, but I'm still pursuing the rest of this story. He rested an arm across the top of his knee that he propped up. Cole's dad was acting slick in a way you never seen before. Option. You appreciate his offer. You joke that he shouldn't be so confident. You felt awkward about the situation. His surety in this was pretty appealing. You ignored it. Okay, that third one, nah. Yeah, I felt awkward. I'm like, I use money. I mean, I've heard of it, seen it on TV. Some people actually do it, but I'm like, I never actually done it. Awkward, this word. If you'd known about this beforehand, you could have grabbed some money you had stashed away or done something to prepare for this. Girl, ain't no way we can prepare for something like this because we never seen it in action. Only heard. Teresa is my friend. If she's playing, I can give her money for the round. Mr. Halden wasn't intimidated by Cole's scowl. Dang, that's a scowl. Don't look like it. He only grinned, chuckling.
Good kid.
Alright, bud. I concede to your might of personality. Cole still looked a little sour, but he didn't protest more after getting his way. You'll have, oh well, you got your ticket. Interested in throwing in? You glanced around. This seemed like serious business in response to your consternation. Okay, Kira softened her competitive smile. Don't worry too much. We'll probably just do some rounds of goldfish? So goldfish tonight. No biggie. What do you think? Options: you join in, you watch. I'll join in. I gotta learn. I love to play. That's a lie, but okay. Mr. Halden gave you a big thumbs up while Cole nodded firmly back. Options: you are really good at goldfish. No, I was not. You were decent at goldfish. Nope. You left it all to luck. You are always bad at goldfish. I think our mom tried to teach us one time, but we was little. Well, not too little, but little enough that she wanted to share. I'll leave it to luck. Card games were mostly about chance after all. Fantastic. We'll play for however long everyone wants to keep going, or until people start running out of cash, but are still refusing to quit while there is. Speaking for yourself, I see. With a laugh, Kira nudged you using an elbow, then motioned towards the other two with her chin. Don't be fooled by their soft faces. These boys are sharks. Really? No, I need a better one. Need a better one. Sorry, y'all. Just looking for a thumbnail. His reaction to her words, Mr. Holden smirked and Cole's eyebrow became more angled. Kiera's phrasing made you think back to when you were young. Specifically of Mr. Holden's favorite shark pants that he used to wear all the time. Perhaps they had been a fit for him in ways you didn't know of. You could feel tension in the air. Cole and his parents glued their eyes to one another. Then all places $5 bills in empty space in front of them. Cole dropped an extra one for you, giving you a tiny smile after he did. Once this was done, Kidda began dealing out cards to everybody. It was time to begin. The first round came and went quickly, with the group getting into the groove of things. You lost, which meant you didn't have any money to add to the pot for another game. Hey, I'll vouch for you this next round, Emma Teresa. How generous, even though you lost your own bet already. Kitty stuck her finger in Mr. Holden's chest. Yeah, we're just gonna leave that to the imagination. So, did you, Hotshot? Kolb had been the one to claim the prize this time. He was quietly pleased with himself while his parents jokingly ragged on each other. Kitty wasn't lying. The boys were sharks.
It's okay.
I'll pay for it. Pass out another round. Fine. They answered in unison and got their heads back into the game. As the night went on, so did the game. Mr. Holden would jokingly shake his fist whenever someone other than him got a pair. Kiere acted as a news anchor, reporting every move everyone made by speaking into her curl fit. Okay, I gotta adjust. I'm technically still lying on my bed because I have no desk. Okay, I don't know if the thing moves, so I'm just gonna rewind. Okay, we're good. Code was still a few words, but Code was still a few words, but now it was because he was focused on the game instead being overcome with awkwardness. Most of the time, you even spotted a smile on his lips. What do you mean spotted? Looking at it now. You didn't win money of the game, but the others always chipped in for you. In fact, it was always a bit of a fight over who got to be your backer. It became clear that where the money went in the moment didn't really matter. They ended up giving it back to one another in other ways, and not just through more rounds of cards. You sat back looking over the scene. A tiny smile grew on your face. Cole's family was pretty cool, you thought. You were glad you got this chance to come over to spend time with the three of them. Wow, we were already at the end. But here's the thing, I was hungry. Now I'm a little sleepy, and we already made it to the end. So we got to spend a poker night with the family. I can always go back to those. But I like how I got these set up. So thank you for joining me, and yeah. Hope y'all had a good year. If not, then you're in trouble with me. I don't even know what the heck happened into the new year. I just remember getting sick, and one of my knees giving out on me. Really, almost giving out on me. So I had to change job. Now I'm exercising. So without any New Year's resolution, without even making it seem like it's going to be an accomplishment or a resolution to finally make, it's either just let it be natural or you keep saying it out loud and it'll seem like a lie because you'll never get to it because you spoke it. You lift up eternally and y'all will have a better day or year or whatever. And for those of you in dark times, I pray that it gets lighter. And when time comes, it'll be time to leave that situation and leave behind for good. So you can do something new and have something new in your life. So thank you for joining me. And see y'all